other developing stories to catch you up on. Let's start with the economic freedom fighters. They're calling on President Cyril Ramaphosa to step aside. They argue that he has concealed a crime at his Limpopo farm. The EFF leader, Julius Malema, saying they've established their own legal team to see how Ramaphosa's removal from office could be effected within the framework of the law. This is after news of the corruption, money laundering and racketeering claims surfaced implicating the president. They were, of course, lodged by Arthur Fraser. This is video shown at the EFF press conference today, ostensibly, purportedly, we're told, from the robbery itself. Our reporter Mbali Thethani was there. Mbali, good afternoon to you. It's sort of astonishing to see a video like this. Do we know exactly how it ended up in the hands of the EFF?
Well, certainly, Stephen, of course, and these are some of the questions that we asked Julius Malema earlier on in that press briefing, and he would not divulge the information. And all he said is that the people who are actually feeding him this information, and of course saying that he had to verify this video before he even shared it with the media today, he even said that you'd actually be surprised that some of the people who shared this video with him are actually white South Africans. So it was quite an interesting assessment that you made this afternoon, of course, at that press briefing. Basically, what we heard from Julius Malema, we saw that advisory coming out yesterday, and of course, as the EFF would not even tell us indeed what this press briefing would be about. And of course, you are right, they are calling for President Cyril Ramaphosa to step down because they are saying that he was trying to conceal a crime when he did not report this robbery at his home where millions of dollars were indeed stolen from his Palapala farm in Limpopo. And they are saying that they're going to take the legal route to ensure that Ramaphosa indeed steps down. Let's take a listen to what he had to say in the press briefing.
The EFF therefore calls for Ramaphosa to step aside with immediate effect because no policeman will investigate a sitting president who has violated laws in order to avoid justice. Ramaphosa has established himself as an individual who will go to a great length to avoid accountability, and he's continued to stay as a president while this matter is being investigated will jeopardize this case. The EFF has also assembled a legal team which will be led by Advocate Tembeka Ngugaitobi to look into the constitutional provision to have Ramaphosa step aside. The integrity of our nation is at stake, and the EFF will use all of its power to ensure that Ramaphosa pays for the crimes that he has committed in this country.
Mbali, I'm sort of slightly surprised this is the EFF leader. The phrase step aside I don't think is in the Constitution. It may be, but step aside is really ANC language, isn't it?
Of course, indeed it is. And I mean, we've heard about this, especially with the suspension of the Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule. And of course, this step aside name was indeed being touted. But he says that it's plain English and, you know, anyone can use step aside. It is not just for the ANC who can be allowed to use words like step aside. And they are saying that they are asking Ramaphosa to step down from his position while investigations get underway to actually look into whether he has anything to account for. Of course, Julius was also saying that when somebody is a sitting president, it is quite difficult for law enforcement to be able to conduct a thorough investigation. So in this instance, because we know that Ramaphosa is expected to be in Parliament on Thursday, they are saying that they will ensure that they will make sure that he will not be able to address Parliament. And they want the Deputy President, David Mabuza, to be briefing Parliament. So let's take a listen to what he had to say pertaining to that investigation that Ramaphosa needs to answer to.
It is likely that Ramaphosa did not want this to be revealed to the public. Ramaphosa engaged in abduction, kidnapping and bribery to cover up the fact that he kept large sums of illicit money on his farm and could not turn to law enforcement to assist him when this money was stolen. The media statement released by the presidency and subsequent radio interviews by Cyril Ramaphosa's spokesperson to downplay a serious crime must be rejected with the contempt it deserves. We know that Cyril Ramaphosa is at the forefront of corruption, including money laundering, racketeering, and fraud hidden in game farm activities. Ramaphosa and his handlers involved in the game farming industry are illegally transacting in foreign currency and in cash. Moreover, there is no record of these transactions, and the laws regarding limits of foreign currency are disregarded.
So as I understand it, the President's next big public appearance is this budget vote in Parliament. The EFF, as you say, want to make sure that he can't speak. Are we going back to 2015, 2016 in Parliament?
You're certainly right, and you'd remember that these are the tactics that the EFF did when former President Jacob Zuma was indeed in power, and of course when they wanted him to repay the money of taxpayers. Of course, they would not even let him speak in Parliament, so it will certainly be a replay of the past once more with another ANC president, where the ANC, or rather the EFF, are calling for him to step down. So one can indeed expect a bit of chaos in Parliament this week.
Mbali Thethani, thank you very much indeed. Our reporter, of course, on that story. Well.